Hi everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got something a little different. I'm going to be unboxing and swatching some Arteza Real Brush markers. I just received these in the mail from Arteza, and I want to share my thoughts on the product as well as one quick card project that I created using the pens. So let's take a look at the pens. Here is the box of 48 Real Brush pens, and these are watercolor markers, again from Arteza. The nice thing about this is you get a decent selection in color, a really nice rainbow of options, and the markers are black, and on the bottom of each marker you see a representation of each color, which is nice for storing if you want to look at them that way. And the best part about, I think, these markers is the price point. The price on these is fantastic in comparison to other Real Brush watercolor markers. Now, I have used Zig clean color markers and I love them, and they're very expensive, and that is something that I paid for and I don't regret paying for them at all. But I didn't really know about these markers, and so it's been kind of cool to play with them a little and realize that there aren't really a ton of differences that I can see as a pretty novice watercolor marker user. I do like, though, the pen, the little brush pen, the water pen that comes with this. It's really nice. So you get all these colors. They come packed in a tray. Of course, I'm just going to pop them all out of the tray, and I'm going to start swatching. I'm also trying out some of the Arteza watercolor paper, and this is the cold press. It's, let's see, you get 32 sheets. I think it's 140. I don't know if it's the weight, if that's how they mark it, but it's really heavy duty paper. And the other cool thing is one side is definitely more textured and toothy, and the reverse side is definitely smoother than some of the other watercolor papers that I've used in the past. So it's a big thick pad. Really think this is a cool product as well. Underneath this video there is a link to download this swatch chart, and all of the colors are listed. And what I did was trimmed my watercolor paper down to 8.5 by 11 and ran it through an inkjet printer, and I decided to do it on the textured side, which you can see right there. Got some clean water and a paper towel. I've also got the water brush that comes with the pens, and I'm going to start. Now, the only difference that I found between these pens and the Zig in terms of how they behave on paper. When I first laid down my peach, I don't know if the peach was a little dry, but when I brought my water brush over to kind of draw the color out, it didn't seem to want to move. So I came up with a solution, and that is to bring in my little palette from Art Impressions and scribble a little bit of the full color onto that palette and then pick that up with water, just to show here's what the full color looks like, and then here is what the more watered down color looks like. And that gives me more of an idea of the range of color, because sometimes you don't want the full color, you want it to be soft. And so that's what I did for all of the colors in this set. And really, I feel like it's apples to oranges in terms of this versus Zig. Again, the big difference is the price. Now, I'm pretty novice with watercolor pens, and the reason I went with Zig initially was because I had to have all the things. I'm sure that very few of you can relate to that at all, but I really wanted the Zigs, and I didn't know about these pens, and I think if I had to go back, I might just choose these. So if you're budget conscious, might be a good choice for you. Now, I'm going to do a quick card using a technique that I learned from the one and only Christina Werner, and I'm going to link to her video also in the description below. And all I'm going to do is scribble on some of the color in rainbow order, and these are all from the 48 set. Just spritz it with some water using a distress sprayer and pressing it down on a piece of the Arteza paper that I've trimmed to 6 by 6. I'm using my fingers to push the color around, and when I lift up, I'll just dab off where color runs and maybe runs together and looks less attractive, if you will. Then I'm just going to dry it in between and repeat to bump up the color as needed. This is a really basic technique, and you can create a lot of pretty backgrounds using these colors. The more color that I layered in, the more saturated they became, and they were really pretty and bright as I progressed. And so they just behave in a very similar way to the Zigs. at least from my perspective. And I'm not an expert user of this type of pen, but I thought that looked great. I set that aside to dry and took another piece that I had played with earlier, cut that out and added some foam tape to the back, just popping this up on a white card base and then adding a little sentiment. This is going to be a birthday card right in the center of the watercolor piece. So getting that in there. Super simple, but that pretty wash of color looks nice. And then I just put some sequins on, and I'm going to add them with a little liquid adhesive. Just working my way around and finishing up this card project. Again, I think these are a great product. I haven't done anything where I've gone and just colored images because I'm not very good at coloring images, but I can make backgrounds, and you could kick out a bunch of backgrounds and make all kinds of different cards for all kinds of different occasions. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, if you want this chart, just see the link below. It's hosted over on my blog, and you can download the PDF and print out your own swatch chart. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here with another YouTube video soon.